Hi Soham, so here we go with your doubt, what you had, and I hope that this presentation becomes more and more clear to you and you're able to understand the proof what you wanted to always about I is equal to E, that is angle of incidence is equal to angle of emergence. So here we go. Well, as we said that to discuss what we are going to discuss today is the topic. Topic is to prove that angle of incidence is equal to angle of emergence. Okay, so what we do is, first of all, we will take a glass slab. Okay, so let us say here we have a glass slab. Okay, and we'll just make it look like more like a glass slab. So here we have a glass slab. Okay, and we name it as ABCD. Okay, so we name it as ABCD. So this is A, B, C, and D. Okay. Now, let us say a ray of light hits the glass slab at this particular point. Okay, and this ray can be named as PQ. Okay, so this can be called as PQ. So this is P, and this becomes point of incidence, which is Q. At this point, I draw a normal, a simple diagram which we have already studied in the past. Okay, so let us say here is our normal. Okay, now let us say this is the normal N dash. Okay, so we name this normal as N dash. So this is N dash. This is my normal. Okay. Now this ray is coming from P to Q. So this is its direction of propagation, and this point becomes point of incidence, which is nothing but Q. Very fine. Now what is happening here is that light is coming from air. So this medium up, okay, this is air, right? So this is air, and here this medium is glass. So light is traveling currently from air to glass. Now as soon as it hits the glass, the medium changes and it is coming obliquely. So this here angle between normal and the incident ray is called as angle of incidence. Okay, so what is PQ here? So this PQ is incident ray. Okay, what is this? This is incident ray. Okay. Now as soon as it hits here, the ray undergoes a little bit of bending. Okay, so it undergoes a little bit of bending. So from here, it comes somewhere, let us say it comes here. Okay, it bends a little bit and it comes here. Okay, so it comes here like this. Now at this particular point, again what we do is we draw a normal. Okay, so again we go ahead and we draw a normal. At what point? At this particular point. So I again draw a normal here. Okay, so this is where we take the normal. So here is my normal. Now I can name this normal, which is the new normal. Okay, this normal can be named as M dash. No problem. Okay, this can be named as M dash. So how many normals we have now in totality? Okay, so we have two normals. One is N dash and one is M dash. I hope that this much is clear to you, right? So what we did, we took a glass slab, okay, and we incident a ray of light on it. The name of that ray is PQ. Okay, at that point Q, which is the point of incidence, we draw a normal. The name of the normal is N dash. As it hits the glass surface, it undergoes some bending. Okay, and this bending of light is what we are calling it as refraction. Okay, so now this ray comes from here to, from this point of incidence, it comes, okay, from here to here in this particular direction. Okay, it comes in this particular direction. Now we can name this as this new point is point R. Okay, this new point this new point. This new point can be called as point R. So I can say that QR. Okay, what is QR? So QR is my refracted ray. Okay, QR is my refracted ray. Okay. Now again see what is happening. Now internally, if I am inside the glass, I clearly see that now this becomes another point of incidence, because now again the medium is changing, air to glass, and now from again glass to air, right? Going from glass to air. So again there will be a bending. So now what is happening? Air to glass is a rarer to denser medium, so it bends towards the normal as per the laws of refraction. And now what is happening? It is going from glass to air, so it will go away from the normal. So it will go away from the normal this time. So we take the ray, okay, and this ray now bends away from the normal, something like this. Okay, so here it is, the ray which comes out of the glass slab. We can name it as RS. Okay, what we can call it as RS. So this is in this particular direction. So this is RS. So there are two bendings happened because it came from air to glass, and then again it went from glass to air. Okay. Now, because this is the light which is coming out of the glass slab, so we call this RS as emergent ray. Okay, we will call this as emergent ray. And likewise, this bending which is happening, this is called as angle of refraction, which is the angle between the normal and the refracted ray. Okay. Now, if we see inside, okay, we get this angle again. This angle can be anything. Okay, we call it for R dash, just for our convenience sake. It can be A, B, C, D, whatever you want to, but we call it as R dash from inside. And this angle which the emergent ray makes with the normal, okay, this is called as angle of emergence E. Okay. Now, do you understand that angle R is equal to angle R dash, because these are vertically opposite angles, right? Because see, these two are normals, okay, so they are parallel to each other, right? N dash is parallel to MM dash, right? AB and CD are parallel to themselves. So definitely this line, which is QR, okay, is making these two angles R dash, they are vertically opposite angles. So of course R and R dash will be same. I hope this much is clear to you. Okay. So this is what happened. Now in this case, when light came from the top view, okay, from P to S, when the light is coming from, it is coming from P to S, okay, in between, what we noticed that refractive index of A to G was sin I upon sin R, sin I upon sin R from P to S. Okay, this is Snell's law again, sin I upon sin R. Now, what do? I quickly take a mirror. Okay, now please understand, I quickly take a mirror. I am going with a logical explanation. Okay, proof you already have. So now I am taking a mirror. So let me keep a mirror here. Okay, so here I keep a mirror like this. Okay, I rotate it in such a way that this mirror becomes normal to the emergent ray. Okay, it becomes normal to the emergent ray. Okay, now what will happen here? Understand. When this ray will continue, it will fall on the mirror. Okay, this is the mirror, normal plane mirror. Okay, so what is this? This is my mirror. Okay. See, if the glass slab was not there anyway, suppose if the glass slab would not have been there only, then what would have happened? The ray would have gone somewhere like this in a straight line path. Okay, because whatever is happening because of the glass in between. Okay, otherwise the ray would have followed this particular path. Are you getting it? So I'll make it dotted for you. because this is not real. Okay, the real path is from P to S. Okay. And we name this particular point as S dash. So if glass lamp was not there, then the ray would have travelled from P to S dash. Okay. Anyway, likewise, when I am talking about this mirror, see, this ray will finally come and will hit the mirror somewhere. Okay, this ray will come from here to this particular point and will hit the mirror anyway. Are you getting this? Okay, so this ray will hit the mirror, and when it hits the normal, what happens? The light will be reflected normally. This we have understood earlier in reflection. Okay, so now what is happening? Now case number 2. Now the light is going from S to P, उल्टा, तो मिरर पे टकराया, bounce back हुआ. Okay, now again it will hit the mirror, it will hit the glass. As it will hit the glass, it will undergo bending, it will go towards the normal. Okay, so it will follow this particular path from R to Q, and again here it will come from glass to air. Again it will go away from the normal and will follow this path to P. So this is how it will come back from S to P. That means if a mirror is kept here in such a way that the emergent light falls normally to the mirror, the ray after hitting the mirror will follow the same path, or we can say it will retrace the path. It will retrace the path. इसका मतलब light obeys something called as principle of reversibility. Okay, principle of reversibility. That means I can send the light from where it had come. Okay. So now from S to P, when the light is going, again it is air to G. Okay, so what is refractive index from air to glass in this case? Now we will use Snell's law. So sine I, now this time this becomes my incident angle, so this becomes sine E upon, this becomes my angle of refraction, so this becomes sine R dash. Okay, I am sure that this is not going to be very clear to you, so what I will do is I will quickly rewrite this somewhere else for you. I will just quickly write it somewhere else. Okay, so now what is happening? Okay, what we are talking about is from S to P. This is equation number 1 we already have. Okay, this is equation number 1. Okay, now what is equation number 2? So for equation number 2, we go to another slide. Okay, let us say we go to another slide. So we'll go to another slide now. So what I am saying was from, now it is traveling from, okay, if we are seeing this, okay, it is going from S to P. Okay, it is going from S to P. Now while going from S to P, again, when I am saying what is the refractive index from air to glass, it is going to be sine of angle E to sine of angle R dash. Okay, see this clearly. उल्टा जा रहा है, ये एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस हो गया अभी नीचे से देखेंगे तो, और ये एंगल ऑफ रिफ्रैक्शन हो गया. ठीक है. नाउ I can name this as equation number 2. This can be given as equation number 2. But we know that refractive index for given pair of media, why we say media is because it is 2, it is plural of medium. Okay, so media means plural of medium. So there are 2 different mediums involved. So mediums की जगह पर हम क्या यूज कर रहे हैं? Media. Okay. So for a given pair of media, the refractive index remains constant. That means equation number 1 and 2 are equal. So therefore, equating 1 and 2, we get sine I upon sine R is equal to sine E upon sine R dash. Now R was already equal to R dash, हमने पहले ही बोल दिया था. That means if that is cancelled, what we get is finally sine I is equal to sine E, which implies that angle of incidence is equal to angle of emergence. Are you getting it? So this is how we can logically prove that the angle of incidence will be equal to angle of emergence. If this diagram is clear to you, this is very, very important. So if this diagram is clear to you, I'm sure the rest of the things would have been clear. So I hope so that this session was fruitful to you. You have understood and you got the answer. Okay. If still there are any queries, feel free to get in touch. All my details are scrolling at the bottom of the screen. It was nice helping you with your doubt. For any further queries, let me know. Thank you.